Hiya. So I am going to demonstrate and do a bunch of legs and glutes. I am wearing ankle weights, 5 pounds on each leg and 1 pound on each arm. But please, 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 if you are a beginner, you don't need any of these weights. You don't even need the kettlebell nor the weights. All the exercises that I am going to do and demonstrate, you can do them without using the weights at all, just using your body tempo. So stick to that, especially if you are a beginner, and build up to it. And keep in mind that using too heavy weights, if your body is not strong enough, it's creating more strain than gain. So really slowly and gently, as you do something every day, it gets easier, and then you can add a little bit more heat. And again, if without using the weight, it's challenging already, that's actually great. Because as you get stronger and the body, you would be surprised how fast it actually gets strong. Then things get easier, and then you're constantly looking for a little extra challenge and wanting to add more things so you can actually feel the heat. So if you're a beginner, rather do more reps. Don't use any weight, especially if you feel strain. Do not use weight, do not add any heavy stuff. Just use your body tempo, and then you can build up to it. And I will demonstrate, always show it without using any weight, and then building up to it. Let's start with the simple squats. Everyone is familiar with squats. We're gonna start in here. So you're gonna step your feet hips width apart, or feel free to go a little bit wider. Now, often what happens when we start squatting, people go like this straight down. Knees go pretty much in front of your toes, and they round the back, which puts strain into the lower back and into your knees. Don't do that. So make sure when you sink down that your knees remain over your heels and that your booty goes back. So keep tracking your knee right over the heel. Knee right over the heel. So keep the shin moving back and sink with the butt down, and then ride with the glutes all the way up. Sink all the way down. It helps if you reach the hands forward, or if you have a chair or a furniture, something to hold in here to help you actually lean further that way to put the weight into your heels. You see what I'm doing? I'm lifting my toes almost off the ground because the weight is all the way in my heels. And up. Sink and up. Sink and up. Sink and up. So basically, you're gonna do 3 reps each for 10. If that's easy, do 3 repetitions each for 20. Now, if you're pretty strong and you don't feel this as much, feel free to add a little bit of weight. I'm gonna use the kettlebell. This one is only 20. From here, sink low, up. Hips move back, knees over your heels, and then rise up. 1. Sink low, rise up. I like to exhale on the way down. I inhale when I rise up. Inhale and exhale as you sink. Rise up, inhale. Exhale as you sink. Rise up, inhale. Exhale as you sink. Keep pressing with the mound of the big toes down. Notice how the weight wants to dump onto the outer edges of the feet. Press with the mound of the big toe down into the earth. Firmly press down with the center of the heel. Shift the hips back as much as you can. And last 3. You'll notice that my counting sucks. I always add extra, more than what I say. And up. Let's say that's 10. Now we're gonna add a little bit more to the movement. Again, you can do it without using the kettlebell. So the next one, adding on, you're gonna sink low when you're down. Pulse it here twice. Go below your knees if you can, and if you have healthy knees, and then 1, 2, and rise up. Again, sink. 1, 2. On the third one, come all the way up. Sink. 1, 2. All the way up. Sink. 1, 2. And all the way up. Stick to this variation till you get stronger and stronger, and then feel free to add maybe the kettlebell, or you can use a smaller weight. And we'll do 10 in here. Sinking. 1, 2. And rise. 1, 2, and rise. Sink, sink. Up we go. Inhale. Sink. Pulse, pulse. Rise up. Pulse, pulse. Rise up. Pulse, pulse. Rise up. Pulse, pulse. Rise up. 1, 2. Up we go. 1, 2, up we go. 1, 2, up we go. 1, Up we go. Last two. One. Rise up. One. Rise up. Good. Now the next one, we're just building up to this. So from here, you can use your hands holding the furniture or a chair, something in front of you, or you can use the kettlebell if you have it. Again, if you don't use anything else. You're gonna try from here. Sink your hips as far back as you can. Far, far, far back. So again, knees are right over the center of the heel. Press with the mound of the big toe down firm and hug the inner feet towards one another. So find rootness through the inner legs. Keep holding the kettlebell. Lift the chest. So try not to round and collapse. Lift, and from here, you're just gonna pulse it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can set the timer or do 10, 20, or 30 pulses. This will fire up your quads and the glutes. And let's do here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! Fire! Feel free, fold forward here. Couple of deep inhales and exhales here, allowing the fire to move through the back of the legs, stretching the hamstrings. And again, you can just walk to one side a little bit, giving one leg a little deeper stretch, and then gently shift to the opposite. Grab the elbows and just fold here for a couple of deep inhales and exhales before you repeat what we just did or move on with the next exercise. Now, from here, next exercise, I'm gonna do a little jumps just to get a little cardio going, and then I will do it with the mat lunging style. So from here, you're gonna start, let's say, with the right leg first. You don't need weight, anything to start. And I'm gonna move this angel. I'm sorry. Hey, sorry. You got a bit more space because I'm big. I can't fit in the frame. Hop. There we go. So from here, let's start with the left leg being static and rooting down into the earth. With your right leg, you're gonna step back and then come 1, sink, 2, sink, 3, up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you can add a little jump or just repeat the same movement. Go up, back, up. So just a little hop with the left leg off the ground. 3, back, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then once you're here, losing my shoe, you can keep your knee down on the ground. Make sure you have a little soft cushion or a surface for the stretch, just to make sure that you don't put too much strain on the knee. As you sink in here, let the hips walk the left leg forward if needed. Sink, sink, sink. And just a few deep inhales and exhales here as you breathe into the psoas. Maybe place the left hand on the knee. Keep sinking for 3, 2, and 1. Maybe reach for the back foot, squeeze it in. And we'll slowly bring it back. Then walk the hands back, bring the front leg straight for a little hamstring stretch. Again, always lead with the sternum and the chest forward. So notice, we collapse in here, length, 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 and flex the foot, and that will take you deeper into the hamstring. And slowly shift, transition however you want to standing, and let's do the other side. So this time, the right leg will remain static, and we'll move the left leg back. Step it back again. Your knee doesn't have to touch the ground. You can just step in here. any amount you can. And forward. Step it back and hop. 2 and hop. 3, hop. 4, hop. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Adding the little jump. Step, hoppa. 2, hoppa. 3, hoppa. 4, hoppa. 5, 6. Oh! What are you doing, Chrissy? Get your toe right there. Sorry, guys. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Up! Be careful, girl. Then next time you step the foot back, add a little cushion for your knee. Sink. Little lunge stretch. Let the hips melt forward. Let the gravity work for you. Keep sinking. Maybe twist towards your right knee for 3, 2, and 1. If you can, collect the back foot. No attachment to that for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Maybe shift it back, bring the front leg straight. And for this stretch, you can always use 2 chairs or 2 blocks on the sides to give you a little bit more height and length so you can draw the chest forward. And that we can keep the pelvis in neutral. Few deep inhales and exhales here. I always blend in, and I highly suggest doing stretches between the active work and slowly then transition and take a little downward dog for a few deep inhales and exhales. Shift the weight from one side. Walk the hands back and slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. Now, the next little exercise, same thing. I'm gonna start without the weight, and then we'll add a little bit more heat to it. So you're gonna start pretty wide, as wide as you can. You're gonna sink towards one leg. Again, notice the knee wants to go forward, and I will demonstrate this facing you guys and then sideways so you can see it. Make sure, same thing, that the knee remains over the heel, so the booty goes back. Stretch here, stay low, and go to the other side. You can reach the hands forward just to find length. Again, if you want to keep the palms on the ground to make it a tiny bit easier. Still, just know, modifying doesn't make it easy actually. It keeps you in the correct alignment. So with anything, just build up to it. Remember when you were a child and you first started walking, you did a step 2, you fall down, you stand up, you do it again, and you build up to it. You didn't stand up and start doing miles immediately. So slowly but surely, you'll get there. And keep doing this. Find your pace. If you have your favorite song, you can follow the beats. Hiya, hiya. From the side. Again, really wide. Notice, when I shift to one side, don't go forward. Shift back. Take that booty all the way behind you. Oops. And then stay low to one side. Sink to the opposite. And sink. Hoppa. Hoppa. 2, 3. Hands can be there. Then you can do a little forward fold, grab the elbows, let the head freely hang to loosen up the front and the back of the neck. Hi, Rupert. Well, you want to work out too. You want to work out on your booty, but you have a pretty booty already. You're so perfect. Perfect. All right, sorry guys. I can't help it. All right, now if you do have a little weight, you can use 2 small water bottles just to add a little bit more heat. The great thing with weight It's to strengthen the muscles and teach them to hug onto the bones. But when you overdo it, you end up straining the body. So really build up to it. Smaller cans will do a great job. It doesn't have to be heavy at all. And you don't have to use the weight. And mainly I'm saying it if you're dealing with osteopenia or osteoporosis, then using a little cans or bottles of water makes a huge difference in your exercises to teach the muscles to hug onto the bone. So now, we're gonna do basically the same movement, but we're gonna add a little bit more heat using the weight. You're gonna step. All right, guys, seriously? Hopefully you guys can still see me. Pretty wide in here. With the weight in here, now you're gonna go to one side. You can do 2 pulses or 1 up and go to the other. Up, sink to 1, up, sink to the other, up, sink to 1, up, sink to the other, up, sink to 1, up, sink to the other. Again, if you don't have these small weights, but you do have the kettlebell, you can use just that, and you'll just transition it from one hand to another. So from here, as we go to one side, tap, up, tap, up, tap, up, tap, up. You can use the opposite arm up in order to keep the chest rising up, still creating length and space. Few deep inhales and exhales. Again, you can just fold forward and rest for as long as you need to connect to the breath. Slow down the heart rate. And then when you're ready, we'll kick back in. Now we're gonna add a tiny bit more heat based on the same movement. We're just gonna do single leg movement. So from here, holding the kettlebell in your right hand, you're gonna step the right leg to the side as you sink low. 1, back up. 2, back up. 3, back up. 4, and up. 5, up. 6, up. You can keep the hand up. 7, up. 8, up. 9, up. 10, up. Now shift the weight to the opposite hand to the left and do exactly the same movement. Open and rise, sink and rise, sink and rise, sink and rise. And let's do the other side. Keeping the weight in your left hand, we'll start to go sideways, moving the left leg. 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rise. Switch the weight. Breathe in, let it out, and let's kick the last side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and up. Take a little break in here, in and out. I have too much sweat getting into my eyes. Maybe you can come to seated. Bring the soles of the feet together for a little Baddha Konasana. If your knees are pretty high, I highly suggest using a blanket, towel, or a pillow to elevate your hips. Soles of the feet together. Find rootedness through the pubic bone and the tailbone equally, and just gentle little pulses. Again, you can use the weight or the chair to lengthen forward, forward, forward. And breathe here. Creating space within the body temple, connecting with the breath. Slow everything down. And let's keep moving. If you need a longer rest, please, please, please take a longer rest. You can pause and then join back in, or maybe this is more than enough for today and you'll do the next part the other day. Now we're gonna move into the next little hamstring glute kick. You can do it using like a weight like this in each arm. I'm gonna be using the kettlebell and one weight just to make it a tiny bit harder. But again, please, please, please don't push yourself. You don't have to make it harder. So we're gonna start in here, and I'm gonna start with the left leg static. So the left leg is rooting down on the ground, and I'm just gonna from here extend the right leg back and come a little bit down as comfortable as you can. You can tap the ground and then come all the way up. Slowly down. 2 and rise. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe next few, when you come up, squeeze the right knee in and go back, back, squeeze, and again, keep in mind it's not about how fast you move. Slow it down, move with the breath, find your pace, especially if you're using weight. Last one here. As you slowly bring it down, this time place this foot down on the ground. Use the kettlebell chair or the weight in front of you to support the arms, and then from here shift forward. Forward and forward as you breathe into the back of the hamstring. If you're flexible, stretching further for 3, 2, and 1. And be grateful, only 2 legs, so 2 sides. Let's move to the opposite. Now, we're gonna keep the right leg static, and we're gonna move the left leg back. You're gonna use the kettlebell in the same arm, just like the leg that it's remaining static and rooting down into the ground. I'm using another weight in here for the other hand. Again, if you have 2 smaller weights, it's easier to keep balance on both sides than holding it just in one arm. Right leg static from here, and we'll move back. 1, and up, 2, and up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if you want to add a little squeeze, contract the knee in and slowly down. Be aware if you're using heavy weight, you might get dizzy. Back. This time, place the foot down. Again, use the elevation for the palms for a little stretch so you can really bring the leg straight. So it doesn't matter how high you elevate the arms, especially if the hamstrings are tight. A few deep inhales and exhales here. Actively shifting the weight forward and forward. Just like I said at the beginning, please honor your body, honor where you're at, start slowly and build up to it. And all these exercises, you can do them without using any weight. No ankle weight, no arm weight, no weight at all. So just do it, give it a try, and you can do it multiple times. I'm gonna add 2 more just for fun. And let's see, what time is it? And that will be it for today. All right, I'm gonna start in here. This way. You can again just use 2 of the same weight in each arm, and I guess let's just do it like that, and then the next round with the kettlebell. So from here, left leg will stay static, and you're just gonna step your right leg a little bit to the side. Up, back up. 2, up. 3, up. 4, up. 5, up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's switch. Right leg static, move the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna do 1 more of these using the kettlebell. If you're using the kettlebell in here, left leg static, keep it in your right hand. You can alternate with the hands as well. Up and up. 2, up. 3, up. 4, up. 5, up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And up. Let's switch to the other side. Right leg static. And up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And up. Deep breath in. And breathe out. Okay. Taking these off. If you use them and take them off, you will literally feel like you can fly. Everything feels so much easier after. So for this part, I am taking the shoes off. I usually do yoga and I practice on the mat. So even when I do all these exercises, I do prefer to be barefoot because then I feel like I can actually really spread my feet and distribute the weight equally through each base of the foot. Inner and the outer heel, the base of the big toe and a little toe to find rootness on the ground, spreading the metatarsals, lifting the inner arch, lifting the outer arch and the arch between the mound of the big toe and a little toe. So in general, I highly suggest not using shoes, but again, we all do sometimes exercises outdoor, and then you feel like you're a little bit more stable wearing a shoe. But again, it's actually easier to twist because the stability starts from working the arch of the foot and working the entire base of the foot. Here, take these smaller weights. It's just a little lunging action. You're gonna start like this. Track your left knee over the left heel, tuck the toes under. Here as well, if you want to add a little arm work, but actually let's just stick to the glutes today. So from here, you're going to stay low. We're just going to try to pick the right knee off the ground. So think of trying to keep your left thigh parallel to the ground. And you can start, you don't even need the weight. You don't have to use it at all. Starting here, you can use 2 chairs for a support. And you're just going to try to pick the back knee off the ground. Up and 2. See what I'm doing? That's it. So don't initiate the movement from the front leg. Initiate it by lifting the back knee and reach back with that heel, which will take you deeper into the front psoas on the right leg. If you want to make it harder, use the weight, but again, you don't have to at all. From here, 10 little lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now from here, we're going to add 10, moving the front leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And slowly sink. Bring the knee down. Release the weight down. Again, you can add a little stretch that we did earlier. Squeezing the foot in. Maybe adding a little hamstring stretch. And we'll switch. Same approach, using the weight or without it. We'll just actually lift the chest, feel the front hip bones up, and then try to engage the back knee and float it off the ground. Reach back. Back, you'll start to feel the stretch in here. Front hip flexor. And I will use the weight to even up both sides. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to move the front leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sink. Bring it down. Release the knee. Again, maybe sink for the stretch. Squeeze the foot. And hamstring stretch. And final one, this time for real. It's the last one. If you guys notice, I don't know how to stop. I can keep going endlessly. Let's do this final round. After standing, legs will remain straight this time. The hamstrings are really tight. Micro bend the knees, that's perfectly fine. And just know that you don't have to touch the ground with the kettlebell. You're gonna scoop the core in, and then from here, slowly, 1, and come back up. 2, slowly up. 3, and up. 4, up. 5, up. 6, up. 7, up. 8, up. 9, up. 10, up. You can do 2 pulses. 1, 2, rise up. 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 Last 3. 1, 2, and rise. Last 2. 1, 2, and rise. Final 1, 2, and rise. And that's it for today. It's a really great way to fire up, take the full body basically, but it's mainly targeting the legs and the glutes. And next time I'm gonna do glutes in forearms and using the bands, and then bringing lots of more variations. Hope you enjoyed it.